Welcome, kitchen adventurers. Today, we're diving into the delightful world of homemade peanut butter. Get ready to unleash your inner culinary genius as we transform simple ingredients into creamy, dreamy peanut butter bliss. From roasting the perfect peanuts to adding just the right amount of sweetness, we'll guide you through each step of the process, sharing tips and tricks along the way to ensure your peanut butter creation is nothing short of perfection. So grab your apron and let's embark on this tasty adventure together. All right, folks, let's get started on making our own creamy, dreamy peanut butter right in the comfort of our own kitchen. Here's what you're gonna need. First up, we've got our star ingredient, 2 cups of unsalted dry roasted peanuts. These babies are gonna give our peanut butter that rich, nutty flavor we all know and love. Next, we'll need 1 to 2 tablespoons of a neutral flavored oil. Peanut oil, vegetable oil, or grapeseed oil will do just fine. This will help smooth out our peanut butter and give it that perfect, spreadable consistency. Now here's where things get interesting: optional sweeteners. You can add 1 to 2 tablespoons of honey or maple syrup if you want to sweeten things up a bit. It's totally up to you and your taste buds. And finally, a pinch of salt to enhance the flavors. Again, this one's optional, but it can really take your homemade peanut butter to the next level. Now, let's talk equipment. You're gonna want a trusty food processor or a high-powered blender for this job. These bad boys are gonna do all the heavy lifting, breaking down those peanuts into creamy goodness. And of course, you'll need a clean, airtight container to store your homemade peanut butter once it's ready to rock and roll. So there you have it, folks. Your ingredients and equipment all set and ready to go. Now let's dive in and make some magic happen. Alright, it's time to get those peanuts ready for peanut butter perfection. Here's what you gotta do. First, if your peanuts aren't already roasted, we're gonna roast them up ourselves to really amp up that flavor. Grab a baking sheet and spread those peanuts out nice and even. We want them to have plenty of room to roast to golden perfection. Now preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 degrees Celsius. We want to get it nice and toasty in there for our peanuts to do their thing. Once the oven's all warmed up, pop those peanuts in and let them roast for about 10 to 15 minutes. Make sure to give them a good stir every now and then to ensure even roasting. Now here's the key. We're looking for our peanuts to be lightly golden and oh so fragrant. That's when you know they're ready to rock and roll. Once they're done, take them out of the oven and let them cool slightly before using. We don't want to burn our fingers when we start blending. Alright, peanut lovers, it's time to take those perfectly roasted peanuts and turn them into creamy peanut butter goodness. Here's how we do it. First, grab your trusty food processor or high-powered blender. This bad boy is gonna be our peanut butter making machine. Now transfer those roasted peanuts right into the bowl of your food processor. We want every last nut in there to contribute to that rich, nutty flavor. But if you're a fan of chunky peanut butter, here's a little trick for ya. Reserve a handful of peanuts to add later. That way, you'll get those delicious peanut chunks in every bite. Alright, it's showtime. Let's get this peanut party started. Go ahead and flip that switch on your food processor or blender, and let's get those peanuts blending. We're on our way to creamy peanut butter perfection. As the machine works its magic, you'll notice those peanuts starting to break down. At first, they'll turn into a coarse meal, and that's exactly what we're looking for. Now it's time to take our peanut mixture to the next level. Here's where the magic really starts to happen. As those peanuts continue to blend into that coarse meal, it's time to introduce a key player: oil. Pour in about 1 tablespoon of your chosen neutral flavored oil. This is gonna help smooth out our peanut butter and give it that perfect spreadable consistency. Now here's a pro tip. Every now and then stop the blender and scrape down the sides of the bowl. We wanna make sure everything's getting blended up nice and even. Keep that blender running, folks. If you find that your peanut butter is still a little thick, don't be afraid to add a bit more oil, tablespoon by tablespoon, until you reach your desired consistency. Now that our peanut butter is starting to come together, it's time to talk optional additions. If you're craving a hint of sweetness, reach for that honey or maple syrup. Add about 1 to 2 tablespoons, depending on your sweet tooth. Drizzle it right into the blender and let it swirl around with those creamy peanuts. It's gonna add a whole new dimension of flavor to our peanut butter. And hey, don't forget about the salt. Just a pinch will do. Sprinkle it right into the mix to enhance those natural peanut flavors. Remember, these additions are totally optional and can be adjusted to your taste preferences. So go ahead, get creative, and make this peanut butter truly your own. Keep that blender running. We're aiming for creamy, velvety perfection here, and that means we gotta keep blending until our peanut butter is as smooth as silk. This part may take a few minutes, depending on the power of your food processor or blender. Just be patient and let it work its magic. Now, if you're a fan of chunky peanut butter, here's where you can take things up a notch. Remember those peanuts we reserved earlier? Go ahead and toss them in now. Give it a quick pulse or two to incorporate those peanut chunks into the mix. We want our chunky peanut butter to have just the right amount of texture. Now it's time for the moment of truth. Let's taste test our masterpiece and make any final adjustments to take it from great to absolutely amazing. Grab a spoonful of that creamy goodness and take a moment to savor it. Pay attention to the flavor, the texture, and how it makes you feel inside. Now here's where you can really make this peanut butter your own. If you feel like it needs a touch more sweetness, reach for that honey or maple syrup and drizzle in a bit more. Likewise, if you think it could use a little extra kick of flavor, go ahead and sprinkle in a pinch more salt or any other seasonings you fancy. Remember, this peanut butter is all about you. So trust your taste buds, get creative, and make those final adjustments until it's absolutely perfect. Once you've achieved that perfect flavor and texture, it's time to transfer our homemade peanut butter to its new home, a clean, airtight container. Grab a spatula or a spoon and carefully scoop that creamy goodness into the container. Make sure to get every last bit. You don't want to waste a single drop of this deliciousness. Once it's all packed up nice and snug, seal that container up tight. Our peanut butter deserves nothing less than the best. Now here's the scoop on storage. If you think you'll be devouring this peanut butter in no time, and who could blame you? It can be stored at room temperature for up to 2 weeks. But if you want to extend its shelf life even further, pop it in the fridge. It'll stay fresh and delicious for even longer, ready to be enjoyed whenever the peanut butter cravings strike. And there you have it, homemade peanut butter, made with love and a whole lot of peanutty goodness. Now go ahead, spread it on toast, dip some apples in it, or just eat it straight from the spoon. Before we wrap up our peanut butter making adventure, let's go over some pro tips to ensure your homemade creation is nothing short of perfection. First up, always opt for high-quality peanuts. The better the peanuts, the better the flavor of your peanut butter. Don't be afraid to experiment with different varieties like Spanish or Valencia peanuts for unique taste experiences. For a smoother peanut butter, consider using peanut oil instead of other neutral oils. This will give your peanut butter an extra nutty kick and a silkier texture. Patience is key during blending. It may take some time for those peanuts to release their oils and reach that creamy consistency we're aiming for. So don't rush it. Let your food processor or blender do its thing. When it comes to sweetness and saltiness, trust your taste buds. Taste as you go and don't hesitate to adjust the honey, salt, or any other flavorings to suit your preferences. And finally, make sure your food processor or blender is up to the task. Blending nuts can be tough work, so you'll want a powerful appliance that can handle the job. If you're working with a weaker appliance, consider blending in smaller batches or using a mortar and pestle to break down the peanuts first. With these tips in mind, you're well equipped to embark on your homemade peanut butter making journey. So go forth, get creative, and whip up some peanut butter magic.